Imagine this: pitch black. The kind of darkness that swallows everything, leaving no room for light or hope. You can't see your hand in front of your face. It's as if the darkness has a life of its own, pressing in on you from all sides. The air is thick, heavy. It smells of damp earth and something else: fear. The kind of fear that clings to your skin, making every breath a struggle. You're crawling through a narrow tunnel, barely wide enough for your body. The walls are closing in, and every movement feels like a battle against the earth itself. Every inch forward could be your last. The tension is palpable, each heartbeat echoing in your ears like a drum. This was the reality for the tunnel rats of the Vietnam War. These brave souls ventured into the unknown, facing dangers that most of us can only imagine. These were no ordinary soldiers. They were volunteers, chosen for their size and their nerve. Their small stature allowed them to navigate the tight spaces, but it was their courage that truly set them apart. Their mission: to venture into the darkness of the Viet Cong tunnels, to hunt the enemy on their own ground. It was a task that required not just physical strength, but mental fortitude. The tunnels were a nightmare. Death lurked around every corner. The enemy could be anywhere, waiting in the shadows. Booby traps, hidden enemy soldiers, venomous snakes. Every step was a gamble, every decision a matter of life and death. It was a claustrophobic hell, a test of human endurance. The walls seemed to close in, the air growing thinner with each passing moment. In the city of Bravery, a network of tunnels honeycombed the earth. These tunnels were more than just hiding places. They were strategic strongholds. It was a hidden fortress, a maze designed to confuse and kill. The Viet Cong had created a subterranean world, a place where they held the advantage. This is where the tunnel rats faced their ultimate test. They had to rely on their training, their instincts, and their sheer will to survive. Each mission was a journey into the unknown, a descent into darkness that tested the limits of human courage and resilience. Emerging from the tunnels, these soldiers carried with them the weight of their experiences. They had faced the darkness and come out the other side, forever changed by what they had endured. Today, we remember the tunnel rats for their bravery and sacrifice. Their stories remind us of the human capacity for courage in the face of unimaginable fear. They are a testament to the strength of the human spirit, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is light to be found. As we reflect on their legacy, let us honor their memory by striving to be as brave and resilient in our own lives. The tunnel rats may have faced a descent into darkness, but their courage continues to shine as a beacon of hope for us all. The Vietnam War was a different kind of war. It wasn't fought on open battlefields. Instead, it was a war of shadows, a conflict that took place in the dense, unforgiving jungles and beneath the Earth's surface. It was fought in the shadows, in the dense jungles and underground. The thick canopy above provided cover, while the labyrinth of tunnels below offered a hidden world of warfare. The Viet Cong, masters of guerrilla warfare, used a network of tunnels to their advantage. These tunnels were not just simple holes in the ground. They were complex systems that spanned miles, with multiple levels and hidden entrances. These tunnels were their lifeline, providing shelter, supply routes, and a way to launch surprise attacks. They were equipped with living quarters, hospitals, storage facilities, and even kitchens, making them self-sufficient and incredibly difficult to detect. The tunnel rats had a crucial role. They were the eyes and ears beneath the earth. These brave soldiers volunteered for one of the most dangerous jobs in the war, crawling into the unknown, often alone. Their mission was to gather intelligence, disrupt enemy operations, and kill enemy soldiers. They had to navigate booby traps, poisonous creatures, and the constant threat of ambush. They were often sent in blind, armed with only a pistol, a knife, and a flashlight. The darkness was their constant companion, and the silence was often broken by the sounds of their own breathing and the distant echoes of enemy movements. Their courage was unparalleled. Knowing the risks, they willingly entered the darkness. Each mission was a test of nerves, a battle against fear and the unknown. Each step was a gamble, a roll of the dice against fate. The tunnels were narrow and claustrophobic, with barely enough room to move. Every corner turned could reveal an enemy or a deadly trap. But they went in, driven by duty, by camaraderie, by a sense of purpose. The bond between tunnel rats was strong, forged in the crucible of shared danger and mutual reliance. In Bahria, the tunnels were particularly treacherous. The terrain was challenging, and the enemy was well prepared, making each mission a deadly game of cat and mouse. The Viet Cong were deeply entrenched, their defenses formidable. They knew the tunnels like the back of their hand, setting traps and ambushes for the unwary. The tunnel rats knew they were walking into a hornet's nest, but they pressed on. Their determination and bravery were unmatched, as they faced the unknown with steely resolve, knowing that each mission could be their last. Before each mission, they meticulously planned their approach, studying maps and gathering as much intelligence as possible. Yet, no amount of preparation could fully eliminate the dangers that awaited them. Booby traps were a constant threat. The Viet Cong were experts in setting up deadly traps that could maim or kill in an instant. Tunnel rats had to be incredibly cautious, their senses heightened to detect the slightest hint of danger. Despite the risks, their efforts often paid off. They discovered hidden caches of weapons, vital intelligence, and disrupted enemy supply lines. Each successful mission was a small victory in the larger war effort. Emerging from the tunnels, they were often exhausted but triumphant. The physical and mental toll was immense, but the knowledge that they had made a difference kept them going. Their bravery did not go unnoticed. Many tunnel rats received commendations for their valor, though no medal could fully capture the extent of their sacrifice and heroism. Reflecting on their experiences, many tunnel rats carried the scars of war long after the conflict ended. The memories of the darkness, the danger, and the camaraderie stayed with them, a testament to their extraordinary courage. Today, the remnants of these tunnels stand as a stark reminder of the hidden war that raged beneath the surface. Preserved as historical sites, they tell the story of the brave souls who fought in the shadows, their legacy etched into the very earth they once traversed. The tunnels were a sensory assault. Every sense was heightened, every nerve on edge. The soldiers, known as tunnel rats, had to navigate these claustrophobic spaces with the utmost caution. Each step could be their last. The air was suffocatingly hot and humid. It clung to their skin, making every breath a struggle. The oppressive heat was relentless, sapping their energy and willpower. The darkness was absolute, broken only by the beam of the tunnel rat's flashlight. In these pitch-black confines, the light was both a guide and a beacon, revealing the dangers that lurked ahead. The silence was unnerving, punctuated by the drip of water and the sound of their own breathing. Every noise was amplified, echoing through the narrow passages, making it difficult to distinguish between real threats and the tricks of the mind. There were booby traps everywhere, tripwires rigged to grenades, hidden with meticulous care. The Viet Cong had turned these tunnels into deadly mazes, where one wrong move could mean instant death. Punji sticks smeared with feces, designed to cause infections and slow down the enemy. These primitive yet effective traps were a testament to the ingenuity and ruthlessness of the Viet Cong. Hidden pits filled with spikes, waiting to impale the unwary. Each trap was a reminder of the constant danger that surrounded them. The Viet Cong were masters of improvisation, using whatever they could to inflict pain and death. Their resourcefulness turned everyday objects into lethal weapons, making the tunnels a nightmare for those who dared to enter. Yogi, a young tunnel rat, remembers his fear. The anticipation was almost unbearable, knowing that each descent into the darkness could be his last. The first time I went down, my heart was pounding in my chest. I thought it was going to explode. The fear was overwhelming, but I had to push it aside and focus on the mission. He pauses, the memory etched on his face. The weight of those experiences is something he carries with him every day. You could hear them moving around in the darkness, whispering, waiting. The enemy was always close, their presence a constant reminder of the peril that lay ahead. The psychological toll was immense. The constant fear, the isolation, the knowledge that death could come at any moment. It wore them down, leaving scars that would never fully heal. The constant fear, the isolation, the knowledge that death could come at any moment. It was a heavy burden to bear, one that left many tunnel rats haunted by their experiences. Many tunnel rats suffered from nightmares, flashbacks, and what we now know as PTSD. The memories of those dark, suffocating tunnels stayed with them long after the war had ended. But they kept going back. They had a job to do. Their bravery and determination were unmatched, driven by a sense of duty and camaraderie. They knew the risks, but they also knew that their efforts were crucial to the war effort. The bond between tunnel rats was unbreakable. They relied on each other for support and strength, knowing that their survival depended on their teamwork and trust. Despite the horrors they faced, they found solace in thoughts of home and loved ones. These moments of reflection gave them the strength to carry on, even in the darkest of times. Emerging from the tunnels, they were greeted as heroes. Their courage and resilience were celebrated, but the true cost of their bravery was known only to them. Many did not make it back. The sacrifices of the tunnel rats are remembered and honored, their legacy a testament to their unwavering bravery in the face of unimaginable danger. A soldier's worst nightmare, yet they faced it with a courage that few can comprehend. Their story is one of heroism, sacrifice, and the unbreakable human spirit. The Americans weren't the first to face the terror of the tunnels. Years earlier, the French had fought a bitter war against the Viet Minh. They too had encountered the intricate network of tunnels that crisscrossed the country. The French experience was a grim foreshadowing of what awaited the Americans. They learned the hard way the dangers of tunnel warfare. The Viet Minh were masters of using the tunnels to their advantage, launching surprise attacks and then disappearing back into the earth. The French called the tunnel fighters les rats de tunnel, the tunnel rats. It was a name that stuck, passed down to the American soldiers who followed in their footsteps. The tunnels were a testament to the ingenuity and determination of the Vietnamese people. They were a symbol of resistance, a hidden weapon in their fight for independence.